I will call cause number 100-835E in the interest of Thaddeus Rafe and Athena Bright. This is a request for court-ordered services, but specifically a Texas Family First case. We are here to address that request, and we are conducting this through Zoom. We're live streaming, and Ms. Goodman is making our record this morning. All right, then we'll take announcements.
Jared Miller, along with Kayla Martinez and Pam Council on behalf of the department.
Pamela Sermon is present here on behalf of Michelle Schindler. Hope I said that right. Apologies, Mom. I'm standing in for Natalie Archer, and Natalie has worked this case out with her client. I'm just making an appearance.
Your Honor, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I'm present here for father, and I believe that we've reached an agreement. And I was just here to announce that the parents are willing to work services.
Okay, we can hear you, Ms. Kincaid. Thank you.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the children.
All right, then let me just ask, has an agreed order been circulated in the case?
Yes, Judge, but I don't think we got all the signatures on there at when I last checked.
I believe I sent over my signature page. We've got a few new cases, so if I didn't, my apologies, but I did speak with Miss Archer, and my understanding is that she may have signed hers as well.
My understanding was Natalie signed on behalf of the mother.
Okay, so just so we can just make this quick then. Essentially then, Ms. Sermon and Ms. Kincaid, your clients have agreed to work the Texas Family First program and be subject to this order to participate that's been requested today?
That is what was announced to me by Natalie Archer, and she visited, of course, with Michelle Schindler, the mom, before she made the announcement to me.
Yes, Your Honor, that's our agreement.
Okay, parents are here. If you all will unmute for me.
Yes.
Okay, is that what you've agreed to today, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, and sir, is that what you've agreed to?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I appreciate your all's cooperation and your willingness to work these services. These folks will work real closely with you to make sure that we can make some effective changes, and hopefully you'll never find yourselves back in this situation again. So I will sign that order when it's presented and find that it's in the children's best interest and that there's sufficient evidence to do so, to avoid any further neglect of the children. And we will review this. We'll have it's kind of a check-in. It's just informal, but it's kind of a check-in hearing to see how things are going. And that'll be on July 2nd of 2026. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. So I'm going to ask Ms. Zavala, who has been appointed to represent the children in this case, if this is what she's agreeable to.
Yes, Your Honor. I do believe it's in the best interest of the children, and I think it was my signature they were missing, so I have forwarded that right now.
Okay. And so parents understand, Ms. Zavala is the children's attorney, just like you both have attorneys. So she will be needing to see the children periodically. She will need to have access. I know they're little, I understand that, but she and or her assistant in her office will be checking in to just check up on the kids. Okay. Her job is to report back to the court what she thinks is in their best interest, or if there's any special needs or anything that they may have. And so it's just important you understand who she is and you know who she is. Okay.
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 All right, then. I will sign the order when it's presented. I appreciate you all working this out, and good luck to parents. They're going to start getting you all the information you need and who you need to call and who you need to make appointments with. Okay.
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 Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I'll see you then in early July.
All right. God
All
bless.
right. Y'all are free to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I don't think I'm back till 10:30 if you want to put me in the waiting room.
Okay. And Ms. Sherman, I think you are up next again.
I am Natalie on the next one.
Yeah,
Yes,
on the next case. Okay. Appreciate you sitting in. Thank you.
absolutely.
Clause number 100439-2. In the interest of Maximo Ruiz. We're here today set for our initial permanency hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're live streaming, and Ms. Goodman is making our record. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Melinda Powell for the department, the St. Francis Permanency Specialist, given the report today is Peyton Silm.
Jerry Morales for respondent father Marco Reyes. He's present. We're ready.
Pamela Sermon standing in for Natalie Archer. Natalie represents the mother in this case, Miss Alyssa Browning, who's present on the video system.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the child.
And Judge, before giving the report, we do have a housekeeping matter to take care of. Paternity testing did come back, and it shows that Mr. Ruiz is the father of the child, and as such, we will ask that he be adjudicated father today.
All right, got that in my notes to take care of today. Mr. Morales, any reason why we should not proceed with that today?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor. Not with the DNA results.
All right. All right, Ms. Sim, solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give today will be the truth?
Yes.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna let you go ahead and give us an update, and then we'll see who's got questions, and we'll take up the genetic testing.
Yes, ma'am. Maximo is placed in a licensed kinship placement. He's doing really well there. He's a pretty happy baby. He likes walks outside, and being held a lot. He is up to date on all medical and vision. He was referred to ECI for speech therapy. He is not on any medications at this time. Overall, he's doing well and there's no concerns. As far as Miss Alyssa Browning, we do not have proof of housing. She reports to be working at a Quality Inn. However, we do not have pay stubs. A family plan of service was created and she signed it. She had maintained regular contact with St. Francis. She did have a parent support worker who tried to set up visits. However, Miss Browning no-showed on the first visit and canceled on the second. Miss Browning has a car. We do not have proof of insurance or a driver's license. She has not completed her OSAR evaluation. She has not completed parenting classes. She has not completed individual therapy. She has not completed her psychosocial evaluation. She drug screened in September. It was a UA. It came back negative. She went in October. It was a UA. It was positive for cocaine. Her hair follicle in October was negative. In December, she completed a UA and it was positive for amphetamines and methamphetamines. She did a hair follicle in December and it came back positive for cocaine and methamphetamines. She has not drug screened for us since. At the very beginning of the case, I believe there were in-person visits set up between Mom and Maximo, and Mom did not attend any of those visits. So I instructed the worker to move them to virtual, and she was not responsive to our virtual provider. And I believe there was only one successful visit that was virtual. I don't know why. I haven't worked the case myself. I just supervised it. But I mean, if we can get a clear line of communication set up between ourselves, mom, a parent support worker, and the visitation provider, it would be incredibly helpful. As far as Marco Ruiz, Marco has stable housing at this time. He has employment at this time, and we do have proof of employment. He did sign his family plan of service. He has maintained regular contact with our worker. He has transportation. I'm unsure if we have a driver's license and insurance. Visitation status was previously pending paternity establishment. So if you'd like to get that set up, we absolutely can. Parenting classes haven't been started. Therapy hasn't been started. A psychosocial evaluation had not been started. He was sent to drug screen. He completed a UA in December that was negative and a UA in March that was negative.
And Judge, an amended court report is being filed. The drug screens all had 20 for mother. The majority had 2026 on those, and they should have said 2025. So just to let everybody know that that amended report, I think was submitted either yesterday or first thing this morning, just to clear those dates up.
Okay. All right, Ms. Sim, anything further with respect to parents or the
I hope
child?
I got everything.
All right, have you all had contact with him since the genetic testing came back?
I personally have not. I do not know if my worker did before he left.
All right. Well, Mr. Morales, I just want to make sure he understands that now he's going to be adjudicated the father, that he needs to really start working the services because the clock's ticking.
Yeah, Judge, I mean, I have some comments about that whenever you're ready.
Okay. Give me just a minute and we'll get back to it.
Judge.
Okay, Ms. Sermon, you have any questions for Ms. Sim?
The only thing that I'm aware of from Mother is she wants a specific date and time for her virtual visits because it moves. And since they're virtual, that would help her set her schedule. If she knew they were always, at 3 o'clock on a Tuesday or something, so she could do her work schedule and make those appointments.
We can absolutely do that.
Thank you. That would help Miss Browning. That's all I had, Miss Sims.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Morales, any questions?
Real quick. Actually, yes, just briefly. Miss Sim, I can't recall. Were you at all assigned to the I guess I don't want to call it a companion case, but the case with Maximo's sibling?
I was not. I am aware that there's a case. I don't know if you call it a sibling case, but yes, I'm aware there is a case, but I've never been assigned.
Have you looked into that case at all or reviewed the procedural history of that case?
I think I know a little bit about the case. I haven't gone into the case and read it from beginning to top. But I am aware of the case a little bit.
Are you aware that Mr. Ruiz was essentially a non-offending parent? I mean, I'm not sure if that's how St. Francis did that, but or assigned him, but that he also worked an extensive amount of services.
I did know he worked services on that case. Where the case is now and where it went, I am not aware of.
Ask the witness.
Okay, Mr. Rouse, I had some of the same questions that now that we've adjudicated, or we're gonna adjudicate him as the father, but Ms. M, would St. Francis have any issue about giving him credit for some of these services that he's already worked successfully?
We would not. I do think I know who the worker is on that case. And if I could get the same documents from her case to add them to this case, I think we could use them together on both cases.
Okay, understanding, obviously, he still needs to maintain housing, employment, legal transportation, drug screen if we ask him to, any of those things that are ongoing.
Yes.
Okay, but if he successfully completed counseling, RBT, parenting, there's not a reason to repeat those.
Agreed, Your Honor. We could
All right.
definitely use those.
All right, let's look into that. And then Mr. Morales, hopefully they'll be in contact with you and your client about that.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ms. Zavala, do you have any questions?
I have no questions, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Sermon, anything to present or to call mother today?
The only thing was the visitation being a regular time and date so that she could make those visits.
All right. Okay, Mr. Morales, anything to present today?
Yes, Judge, a few things. The first being, and if this is no longer the case, because the last time that we had spoke about this particular incident, it's been about 2 weeks. But Mr. Rees has explained to me that if the court would recall that Miss Browning did have a no contact provision at the last hearing. He would like that that reinstated. He told me that he's receiving at the time, at least 2 weeks ago, significant communications or harassment, threatening to try to get him deported, threatening to take the kids. There's just been a bunch of threats from mother. And she's constantly, wanting to come around, wanting money from him. And he's just at the point where he told me 2 weeks ago, he goes, I don't want her around. So, and again, I think a lot of it was just the threatening aspect of it. So I think that might be best. And again, if Mr. Rees, if that's changed in the last 2 weeks, please let me know. The other thing I was just going to present, Judge, was just a bit of frustration. Mr. Ruiz and I had agreed that we were going to look at services and what services to be tailored, depending on obviously whether or not he came back as the father, and he hasn't even been contacted about that since. He no longer have a caseworker, and again, I'm not meaning to point fingers, but I mean we have a supervisor here that hasn't completely even looked at what services he looked at that he worked a year ago. But yet in the permanency report, which I would imagine took some time, it's just a bunch of accusations that he's not working his services when, in my opinion, he's, again, a non-offending parent and shouldn't have been required to work these services. But again, I understand we're getting that fixed now. As to the stability, and he knows that he's going to still have to do some sort of like maybe I don't know if you'd even call it play therapy, but there's going to have to be, some sort of bonding to take place instead of, just a quick placement. He understands that. That's part of his choice of, asking for DNA instead of just for placement right away. But that being said, I think it's a lot to ask for him to expect to completely work another case when he did that last year as a non-offending parent. And I'm assuming he'll do well again like he did last year. But now we're going to get that tailored, Judge. Hopefully I won't have an issue with it next time. I just would like a little more attention brought to my client and communication to my client. And that's all I ask, Judge.
Okay. I'm going to give Mr. Prowse a chance to make sure he's caught up. All right.
Sorry, I get that way. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So we definitely need to take a look at all of that. I mean, I don't see any reason why he should have to do those things again. So, okay, then Ms. Vala, anything to present today or a recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. Maximo's doing really well, and growing well, adjusting well. I think it's a resolved issue, but I am in agreement with Mr. Morales regarding the services. I was involved in that case and I remember what Dad did. And hope that we can get those visits started with him soon.
And Judge, on the order and for father rather than compliance, I'm gonna say mom is not compliant, and however, for father, if the court is okay, I'll just put services will be reviewed for appropriateness.
Yeah, and I'll go through my ruling and then you can scribble in notes.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
I do want to ask Mr. Ruiz, because of something I read in the permanency report directly, so he's gonna need to unmute Mr. Perales. But
Okay.
does he want to work what services he needs to do in this case?
Mm,
And knowing he doesn't have to repeat everything, what we've been talking about. But does he want to stay involved with us? And be considered placement for the child?
Mire, señora juez, ah, he, he estado comenzando a pensar que tal vez ah, en cierto caso Máximo está bien con las personas que está ahorita. Eh,
All right, I'm gonna let him discuss this with Mr. Morales. So he definitely needs to talk to his attorney about this.
And Judge, I'll have a detailed conversation once we can kind of narrow down what services he's actually going to be looking at. I think, again, when I had conversations with Mr.
Slow
Ruiz,
down, slow down. Slow down.
when I had conversation with Mr. Ruiz, his biggest frustration at the time was just, again, the amount of harassment that he was being subjected to by Miss Browning. And he thought maybe not showing some involvement would stop that, which obviously I don't think is necessarily his best choice. But I'll talk to him again once we retailer services. And again, I think maybe a no contact provision may be beneficial for him.
Okay. All right, then for today, I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I will continue the child's current placement. I'm going to adjudicate Marco Ruiz as the father of the child, Maximo Ruiz, and establish the parent-child relationship between the two of them. I do find there will be a continuing danger to return the child home to either parent at this time. I'm going to find that Mr. Ruiz is in compliance with his service plan at this time. I'm going to find that Ms. Browning is not. I am going to enter a no contact order between the parents. So what that means is no contact. You don't text, you don't call, you don't knock on doors, you don't send flowers, you don't social media, message each other. No contact means no contact. Other than here in court proceedings, you all should have no direct or indirect contact. Ms. Browning, do you understand that?
All right. Yes, I do.
All right, Mr. Ruiz, do you understand that?
Sí.
Okay. All right, I will see you all back for our next review hearing on August 11th of 2026. That'll be a 9 o'clock docket. Our final in this case is scheduled for October 20th of 2026, also on a 9 o'clock docket. Mr. Morales, be sure he understands he's on a short fuse to do whatever needs to be done. I'm not sure he'll have that much to do.
Yes, Judge, I will let him know. Thank you.
Okay. All right, then. Thank you all very much. Ms. Sermon, thank you again for sitting in for Ms. Archer. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good rest of your day and you're free to go. In the interest of Kalia Olivas Romero, we're here today on a review hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom. We're live streaming, and Ms. Goodman is making our record. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Melinda Powell for the department. The St. Francis Permanency Specialist today is Tim Coble.
Okay.
Jerry Morales for respondent father, Your Honor. He is not present. I'm ready.
All right, and Ms. Riley has signed off on an order, but her client, Ms. Olivas, is present.
And Judge, I've been looking through this, and we're gonna have to really alter that order. And so I will resend it out for her to review.
Okay. My concern is alter it. I mean, in other words, she isn't here today based on maybe what she signed, so I'm.
Well, in reviewing this, and let me confirm, Mr. Coble, has the child been returned to mom at this point in time?
Yes, we started a monitored return last
Okay.
Monday.
And Judge, when
we're a week into that.
when the report was submitted, the child wasn't placed with mom yet. And since so the order reflected what the court report indicated, that the child wasn't with mom. And now that the child is with mom, we're going to have to change that. So do you want, I don't have Tracy's phone number, or I would call her and tell her, hey, we need you for this hearing.
Well, okay. I doubt she's going to have any complaint about that. So we'll go ahead and proceed today, just knowing that that's the distinction. So,
Okay.
All right. Okay. Mr. Coble, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm that you'll tell the truth today?
I do.
All right, sir. Okay, I'll let you give us the update on everything and then we'll let everybody ask questions.
Okay, we have, as we said, placed Kalea back with mom as of last Monday. That was according to a reunification schedule that we had been working on with stepped up visitation and overnights leading up to placement. There were no issues along the way. So the placement last Monday went very smoothly. And I saw the family yesterday. Actually, Ms. Zavala and I kind of tag teamed yesterday, and we're both there at the same time. And everything was going well. Mom is working. The only thing that I guess is a little unsettled is we had hoped to transition Kalea to daycare in Amarillo with the placement, but the daycares are on waiting lists right now. So that's what we're waiting on in order to place her back in daycare. But in the meantime, there's a great aunt that is a caregiver for Kalea. So when mom is doing her job, which is working with her sister in a cleaning business, a house cleaning business, they put Kalea with the aunt. And so that's going well. And Kalea's healthy and happy.
Okay, that might even be a little easier transition for the child, so. Okay, Ms. Olivas, any concerns or questions or anything you've got today?
No, I think that's it. I'm grateful and I'm thankful I have my daughter back at home. It's a big blessing. It's been a long journey, but I'm happy I was able to do what I was supposed to do to be able to get her placed back with me. She's funny. She's something else. I love her and we're all excited that she's home.
Okay, well, congratulations to you and big
Thank you.
applause. So we're very proud of you and just keep up the good work, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, Mr. Morales.
Just briefly, Judge, and I can ask Mr. Colwell. I was actually going to ask him and Miss Olivas, but I didn't know if with Miss Riley being here, I don't really want to necessarily question her. Um, is St. Francis's what's their current goal for father right now, and is there any anticipation that might change?
Well, there's no goal to ask for termination of rights, and I have a communication line with him. He is in Honduras, but via the WhatsApp app, I'm able to communicate with him. And what he has said to me is that his concern is only that that Kalea be okay with her mother. So as
Okay.
long as she's happy and healthy being placed with her mother, he indicated that that fulfills his wishes.
And that's my understanding as well. And so it's not the department, or I'm sorry, St. Francis's goal to ask for termination to dad as of right now. Is what you're saying though? That is not the goal.
That's correct.
Okay.
Judge, I anticipate that if this placement goes well, of course, it's placement. We don't have a monitored return order, but it's placement. I anticipate if things go well, rather than proceeding to final order in June, that we'll just be filing a dismissal.
Okay, leave everybody where they were because he's alleged.
Yes.
Okay,
And that's all I had, Judge. I just want to make sure I didn't want to, really reach out and try to get him on board for a final if they're going to look to terminate, or if that was mom's wishes, and then just kind of figure out what his status was, or if there was any chance he was coming back. But with that being said, Judge, I don't think there's any issue whatsoever.
okay. All right, Ms. Zavala, you happy with everything?
I am. It was a great visit. She seemed very happy. She seemed very comfortable where she was. Physically just looks to be doing really good. I think daycare would be great when a spot opens up. I think there was some transference of ECI services that maybe needs to happen. I'm not so much worried about her physically, but just making sure that she's checked out, and then for speech therapy, just to make sure that that's continuing. Right now, she doesn't seem very verbal, but she looked happy. She looked comfortable. It was great to get to meet Tim in person for the first time. So I had no concerns.
Okay. All right, then today we will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and we will continue placement with mom. No continuing danger to the placement with mom, and she is in compliance with her service plan. Mr. Romero is not. I will sign this order, and we are set for our final June 23rd of 2026 on a 9 o'clock docket. So my sincere hope, Ms. Olivas, is that close to that time, if everything's continued to go really well, and there's nothing really left that we can do to help you with or the child, we will just dismiss the case and we'll be out. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Olivas, do you have communication with the father?
I do not.
Okay.
So whatever y'all say, I don't know. I
Okay.
have not really tried to communicate with him. I don't really know how, so no, I haven't.
Okay, Mr. Colo, I'd like that information. If he's willing, I'd like that information at least passed on to Ms. Olivas so that, once we're not involved anymore, if she needed to reach him or make him aware of something, then she would have the ability to do that.
Yes, Judge, I will be happy to give her the WhatsApp phone number that's used for reaching him.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank y'all very much. I'll see you back in June unless y'all just present a dismissal order. Ms. Levis, if I don't see you again, congratulations again. Thank you so much for your work and you just enjoy getting to be with your daughter, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. In the interest of Priscilla, Gabriel, and Angel Garcia, we are here today on our initial permanency hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom. We're live streaming and Ms. Goodman's making our record. All right, then we'll take announcements.
Melinda Powell for the department. The St. Francis Permanency Specialist today is Shelby Brady.
Lorraine Lucero on behalf of the father, Juan Garcia, Your Honor. I'm present and ready. He is still in ICE detention.
JC Zavala on behalf of the children.
All right. And just for the record, the mother of the children is deceased. Okay. Ms. Brady, if you'll raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm that you'll tell us the truth today?
I do.
Okay. All right, you can go ahead and give us the update and then we'll see if anybody's got questions for you.
Juan, I'll just start with Juan first. He is in the ICE detention center currently. He does communicate with me. He does send items to the children that he's able to. And he was able to have a phone call with the children on Priscilla's birthday that his attorney had requested and that the item was good with. The visit was appropriate. No concerns with that at that time. And then I did contact the detention center, but they said that there's no services available for him to complete, like in a traditional jail while he's there. So he's not able to do anything at this time. And I haven't been provided any names of courses that he completed while he was in Potter County. So at this time, he hasn't completed any services, but he did sign his family plan. And a copy of that was provided to him in English and Spanish. With the children, starting with Priscilla, the youngest, she does well in school. She does well in her placement. She misses her dad, wants to be back with her father. She wants to have a relationship with her siblings. She does have asthma, and so they got her a breathing treatment just that way at night if she needs any breathing treatments to help her. She has that available now, and they're working on getting her a second inhaler to have at school. Other than that, she's healthy. She's up to date on all of her appointments and doing well. With Gabriel, he was just evaluated and diagnosed with ADHD and had just begun a medication on Friday whenever I had went and met with them. So it was the very first day. So I don't know how that's exactly going yet, but he said that he felt fine for the first day. So they'll continue to work on that to help him improve in school. He wants to be back with his dad as well. Him and Angel were sharing a bedroom, but now they have separate bedrooms, and they both said that they like that. They have like different roommates, a little bit of separation, although they do want to be together. And then there are concerns about his level of comprehension and understanding, and that has affected his school. We're going to continue to evaluate through like this psychological and CANS counseling. And then he has school accommodations in place as well to help him. With that, he is, however, passing all of his courses, so he's not falling behind in grade level. He is working in counseling on making sure that he has like appropriate, or he's looking for appropriate mentors and things like that. And so that's just his main goals. And speaking up for himself. He has a hard time making friends and understanding like the importance of having friendships. With Angel, he is also having some struggles with like comprehension in school. He does also have appropriate modifications and accommodations in place. Last time that I had talked to him about his grades and looked at his grades, he was failing one course and like on the line of another course, but he said they were due to missing assignments. So maybe not just his understanding, but getting his work in. He had also stated that he had skipped class a couple of times, but we've since talked about that and he's stopped skipping classes, and talked about the importance of appropriate role models as well and not falling under bad influences. He has had a couple incidences that have
Your Honor, if we're going to go into any detail on the incidents, I would prefer we be off of YouTube if
Right.
that's going to be
I
discussed.
won't go into detail.
Okay.
I won't go into detail. I was going to say he has had a couple behavior incidences that have been reported and have been addressed appropriately at this time, and there's no concerns. If judge wants more detail, then of course, but I don't feel like I need to, just because there hasn't been any real like accommodations or needs to be put in place. The only other incident was that we're working on his anger and making sure that he's appropriately expressing his emotions as well. And he's working on those in therapy and have identified that in therapy as well. He's healthy. He's not taking any medications. I think that that's really all the main update. I would like to get the siblings started in therapeutic sibling visits, just so that they continue to work and develop that healthy bond and communication and boundaries between them all. I think that's all my update.
Okay.
Can I ask a couple of questions, Judge?
Yeah.
Thank you. Miss Brady, have you been provided the name of any relatives for potential placement for these kids?
Yes, we do have we had a connection specialist on the case. There was one possible relative found, but that relative said that they would need DNA testing to know if they were actually related to the children. And then there was a second fictive kin found, Pastor Kevin Oakley and his wife, Miss Mary Oakley. And they were the pastors at the church that the children went to. They also lived down the street. They knew Juan and they've known the kids for years, I believe since like before their mother had passed. Pastor Kevin and Miss Mary are also working on getting licensed with Buckner, and we're looking to submit a home study for them. The children also had a visit with Kevin and Mary on Friday that I supervised. The kids are very excited about the possibility of continuing visits with them and even possibly being placed with them if it's found to be appropriate.
Okay, and have you talked to the father? Is he familiar with the Oakleys? Is he okay with placement with them?
The Oakleys are actually a name that the father had given at the beginning of the case, and that we just hadn't been able to speak to until later in the case. And so he would like for the kids to be placed with them. I do need to talk to him and let him know that we've gotten in more contact and the kids have had visits and that we're moving on to like the next steps in the process.
Okay, and you would agree that really it's been impossible for father to work any services under his present situation?
Yes, he's been as compliant as he can, but it is difficult with this situation.
Okay, and what is St. Francis's goal at this point in time?
The goals on the case are still family reunification and adoption to a relative or fictive kin.
Okay, that's all I have, Judge.
All right. Okay, Ms. Lucero, questions?
Just a couple, Your Honor. Ms. Brady, as far as Pastor Kevin and his wife Mary, is the process, and I know it just depends on, I guess, how many applications are in, things like that, but how long is that process approximately to get approved or licensed through Buckner's? Do you know?
I don't know exactly. I know that they told me on Friday they're hoping for 3 weeks to get licensed.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. Okay. And as far as any you and I had spoke about some documentation that Mr. Garcia would need there, to help with his immigration case. Could you just tell me the status of that? Have you been able to maybe get that process started or?
So what I was told is that we generally don't request the like hard copies of birth certificates and social security cards for younger children. So if that like is needed, or if I just need to ask for further clarification and direction, I will do that and request those. But at this time, I haven't had any further updates on that.
Okay. And are you talking about whoever you staff with and things like that, or okay. Okay. Okay, that's what I need to know. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Zavala.
Your Honor, no questions, just a report when you're ready.
Okay, go right ahead.
Okay. First, I'd like to say I love the amount of communication I'm getting on this case from Caseworker and placement, and I feel like they're working really hard and working together on the kids and what they need. I really think that the further evaluation for the boys just on cognitive and processing and school issues will continue to be very important, and I think everybody's monitoring that situation. But I've noticed some of that in my discussions with them. I'm really excited about the possible home study. The kids were excited about it. They knew them, they remembered them, they were excited that those visits were going to be starting up. And so I'm really glad that has happened. I hope that those visits continue. Even if we get to a place where they can't be placement, I don't envision that happening, but if we were to get to a place, I still think they are good, supportive people in these children's lives. As to the documents, I understand what Ms. Brady is saying about the age of the children. However, with only one living parent and he's incarcerated right now, I think it is really important that we get those actual documents for the kids. I think we're in the best, St. Francis is in the best position to do that. I think that would be extremely helpful for the kids going forward to have the actual documents. But I feel really good about where the kids are placed now. I feel good about what's going on with their care, and I feel good about their possible placement. So I feel like we're moving in the right direction.
Were all 3 children born in this country?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah,
And Your Honor, go ahead.
I agree with Ms. Zavala. I think we need to have those documents in hand due to the circumstances. Absolutely.
And Your Honor, I believe we do have Angels, like a hard copy of Ms. Brady did provide that to me. And the reason that I had reached out for him is he really doesn't have anyone that can get those documents for him. And I was hopeful, I don't know if I need to provide some kind of authorization to the department. I mean, if they're able to obtain those documents, the immigration judge wants to see him to verify that he is the father of these children. And so, I mean, he has, the immigration process, you have a hearing and then they put you out 30 more days. And that's what I'm hopeful that we can get those documents. So I could get a copy to him to see if that'll help him, because the immigration judge is considering, letting him have like an immigration bond and getting out. So that's what I'm hopeful for. And I'm very thankful that Pastor Kevin and Miss Mary there are that they were located and all that's going on, because he's really I did let Juan know about that yesterday. I didn't know they had already started visits, but I'm very thankful for that. So he's doing everything that he can, Your Honor. He just wanted me to let you know that he's going to do everything he can to get out of there, or if he is deported, that still work to have the children placed with him.
Okay. If it's an unintended consequence that he gets the documents, that's great. I'm more concerned that if he doesn't, he doesn't work his way through the immigration problem, that
Right.
we're going to have deceased mom, dad out of the country. I mean, so Ms. Brady's got good communication with him right now. So if there's anything he needs to sign or anything that would expedite us getting those things, then now is the time, not later. So, Ms. Brady, I don't know if you need to enlist the help of somebody that kind of specializes in all that, but we need to get on it and try to get those things. Okay, anybody have anything further?
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
All right, then I'll continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the children's current placement. I find a continuing danger to return the children to the father, more by virtue of the fact that it's impossible to do so. I will find that he is in compliance as far as he can be. I mean, he's maintained contact with Ms. Brady. He's provided us names for placement. You know, we've been told there's nothing there he can do. So, you know, I think he's complying with everything that he can. We'll have another review hearing on August 11th of 2026 on a 9 o'clock docket. And then we'll be set for our trial October 20th of 2026 on a 9 o'clock docket. So, I'll see y'all back then.
And Judge, in the order I'm gonna put for St. Francis to obtain the original documents such as birth certificates and social security cards for the children.
Yeah, I'll put that in my ruling, but yeah, I definitely want us to get a hold of those.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
All right, then, cause numbers 98181E in the interest of Cason Williams. Cause number 100704D in the interest of Colton Williams. We're here today in each case on a status hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom. We're live streaming. Ms. Goodman's making our record. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Melinda Powell for the Department of St. Francis Permanency Specialist today is Sylvia Garcia.
Vince Nowak, attorney ad litem on behalf of the mother, Keisha Williams. She will not be joining us today, Judge. She had some phone issues, but I did talk to her.
All right.
Savannah Kincaid, I'm the guardian ad litem for Ms. Williams. I've not had contact with her. I've been in contact with Mr. Nowak. The phone number I have is working and I have left voicemails, but I haven't heard back from her, Your Honor.
Okay.
Jerry Morales for respondent, Father Brian. Pardon, Your Honor. I do not anticipate he'll be on, but I'm ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the boys.
All right, and then Mr. Candelaria in the Colton Williams case is not present either. And counsel, I don't have either of your other clients in the waiting room. So I'll keep an eye out, but I don't have them there right now. So, okay. Then Ms. Garcia, if you'll unmute for me and raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give today will be the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, very good. All right, you can give us an update and then we'll see if anyone's got questions.
Since the filing of my court report, the only update I have is that with the boys, there's a potential placement for them to bring them back to region. We are doing a pre-placement on that placement. I did get confirmation this morning that it should be happening this week. So we're hoping that the pre-placement goes well so that we could bring the boys back into region. Right now, Colton is doing very well in placement. He's been able to adjust to the placement. They're able to provide a sensory room for him, which he really enjoys the sensory room. He does have a 1-to-2 ratio right now with supervision, and that seems to be working very well for him since he was adjusting. Cason also is doing very well at his placement. He did have a little bit of a harder time adjusting, but now since he's been in placement as long as he has been, he's accustomed to his peers, his foster parents, and he does very well. As far as Miss Williams, So we did have some phone issues where she said that her phone was off and then she was having phone issues. So I did not get a hold of her until about like the beginning of April. And I told her how important it was for her to stay in communication with me. And so since then, she has done better. We do have virtual visits with the kids on Tuesdays, and she's been doing better at being present for those. Now we're just working on making sure that she stays engaged. But I do feel that once we start her services and her parenting classes, I hope to see that improve. As far as the fathers on this case, I've reached out to Mr. Parton, and he's just basically told me that he does not want to speak to me as long as the paternity test has been done on Casein Williams, because we're already getting money for him, and he does not want to be bothered until a paternity test has been done. As for Mr. Candelaria, I have not had any contact with him. So that is something that I am working, is to trying to reach him or even see the last known addresses for him. And when I'm in the area, being able to just go out there and see if he's there or if there's any family that might know where he's at.
Ms. Garcia, have you reviewed the service plan with the mother?
Yes, I have.
Okay, has she signed it?
She has, and I'll need to file it with the court.
Okay, please make sure you get that filed.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me interrupt real quick, Ms. Garcia. Okay, I show Mr. Parton as an adjudicated father. So, all right, let me look back. We
Judge,
redirected his support, and so there's orders out there. So does he understand that he is the dad and that?
Honestly, Judge, I'm not sure what happened in those other proceedings. I'm not sure if there was a paternity test or if he was just the alleged father. I haven't told him anything. I just told him that he needed to speak to his attorney. And he just told me to leave him alone until that's been done.
Okay, well, yeah, there's court orders ordering him to pay support. So there's been a finding that he's the father, whether he did genetic testing, whether he didn't show up and defaulted, whichever. There's a court order that says, congratulations, Mr. Parton, you're the dad. And that is now about as set in stone as it can be. So I guess, Mr. Morales, we'll see. Have you had contact with him?
Judge, I did. He came to my office during the adjudication hearing, or I'm sorry, the adversary hearing, and the impression I got, we didn't discuss a DNA test at all. I was kind of under the impression, or I thought I left him enough information to let him know that he's already been adjudicated in that CPS hearing, or I'm sorry, the AG case. And so I didn't think he was anticipating a DNA in this one. In all honesty, I think he just wanted to make sure he wasn't going to have any kind of criminal neglect type charges. I think that seemed like his biggest concern, but he did not want to participate in services or be involved in any way. And so I'm not. I honestly think that maybe he thought that this was an avenue to have his rights terminated, and I explained to him that's not necessarily the case. So
yeah. Okay.
I just pulled that order and it looked like it was a default order.
It was.
Okay, well, you can let him know, too bad, so sad, that there won't be any further genetic testing, that he's it. And so he can either participate or not, and then whatever the consequences of that may be. But
okay, Judge.
I just want to make sure he understands there ain't gonna be another bite at that apple.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, not unless some other man steps forward and says, wait, I think I'm the dad and I was never served with notice of that. So
okay.
Okay, Ms. Garcia, I'm sorry to interrupt with all that. Anything further?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Mr. Novak, do you have any questions for her?
Just briefly, and first, thanks, Sylvia, for taking my phone calls and always talking to me. Keisha tells me that she's having difficulty getting a hold of the providers for the parenting classes. She's calling them, she's just not getting through to them. And she asked me, is there any way she could do online parenting classes? Or can you assist her with getting through to these people to schedule the in-person classes?
I think it would be best if I just help her set up those services, just because she would do better if in person instead of virtual, just because I've had virtual contact with her. I do every Tuesday the visits, and she doesn't stay engaged as well, so she would benefit better in person.
I think you're right. If you would reach out to her and work with her on getting those scheduled, I sure would appreciate it.
Yes.
Thanks, Sylvia. Judge, I'll pass the witness.
All right,
Judge, just
thank you.
kind of as a follow-up to Mr. Nowak's question, Sylvia, has the mother obviously has a guardian in this case. Has a family support worker been assigned to her? A parent support worker has been assigned to her, but she wasn't picking up any of her calls up until recently. I did have Keisha call her as soon as we got off the phone, and I double checked with the parent support worker, which is Deja, just to make sure that she was going to be able to help her. And she actually is going to pick her up because she has an appointment with TPC, and so we want to make sure that we get that service going. Okay.
Sylvia, did you say Tasia?
They can.
Yes.
Tasia
I'm sorry, not
Mack-
Deja, Deja.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you. That's all I have.
Ms. Garcia, what's the full name of the parent support worker?
It's Deja Moore.
Okay. Would you email her contact information to Mr. Nowak?
Yes, I can.
And
Thank
then
you, Judge.
and also to Ms. Kincaid?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe they can talk to Mom about how important this lady's role can be and how helpful it can be. Okay. Okay, Mr. Morales.
Judge, I have nothing to add other than what I added. I will get with my client though, just to let him know the information that you had asked me to address with him, Judge.
Okay. Appreciate it. All right. And Ms. Zabala.
Your Honor, no questions, just a report if you're ready for that now.
I am.
Okay. With Kaysen, he is definitely improving. He started very aggressive, both with kids and adults. He's much better with kids now. He still can be aggressive with adults, especially new adults. He can really act out at nap time and bedtime, and when he doesn't want to go to bed, he often tries to hurt himself. And so they're working on him with that. He bites himself and hits himself. And so they're working on that. They also are having trouble with him taking off his pull-up and potentially making a mess with some of the contents. But he is doing better. He is improving all the time. With Colton, we've had some difficulty just recently getting in touch with his placement, but we found some other contacts for them. But previously when we contacted him, he was doing very well there. I am very excited about a placement here in region. I would absolutely second the recommendation that in-parent parenting is really necessary. These kids are very high need. They are a handful. And in fact, going back to Kaysen, he is still very young. I think we need to continue to be monitoring him for any additional testing he may need. There is some thought from placement that he may need to be tested for autism as well. So the new placement needs to be aware of all of those things, and we need to continue monitoring when that change takes place. But I very much believe as much hands-on training that mom can get, the better. But right now, they both seem to be in safe, appropriate placements and doing well and improving. And I am very much excited about the possibility of moving them in region.
Is Cason, let's see. He's no longer eligible for ECI, is he?
No,
Yeah.
no, because he's already
Okay.
over 3.
Yeah. Well, I think if we can get him back in region, not only do I think it's important for mom to do in-person parenting, but probably, certainly if we don't have parenting that's tailored to children with special needs, or high needs children, then we need to figure out how we can help get her that. And so that may take a little thinking outside of the box, Ms. Garcia, but I think that's what we're really looking at here is we need some real intensive parenting, training and all that, which will obviously be possible if the children are in region. It's almost impossible if they're not. So, okay. All right, well, I'll continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the children's current placement. I find there's a continuing danger to return the children home to any parent at this time. I'm going to order the service plans as an order of the court, and I will see everybody back for our next review hearing on August 11th of 2026. And hopefully we can get the in-region placement, and I'm all good with that. So I give that the thumbs up and the go ahead if we get that worked out. All right. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I'm trying to log in on my phone. I missed, I think, probably a good portion of what happened today.
Okay. Do you need a quick recap?
I think I got most of it. The only thing that I would ask for is, if Miss Garcia would be willing to accommodate without going into specifics, Miss Williams' needs, her mental health needs, and just give her a little grace. I'm guessing you've already recessed, but that was the input that I wanted to give today.
No, I just rendered a ruling and I just talked about if we get the kids back in region, we need to do a lot of work with her with hands-on parenting skills and all of that.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I'm sorry about that.
No, do you want me? Okay, no problem. Is this the last thing you had?
No, I've got another final with you here shortly. If I keep having this issue, I may just have to be on my phone because every time I turn my video on, it cuts off.
Okay, no problem. I'll watch the waiting room if you have another device coming in.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Cause number 100700E. This is in the interest of Teresa and Esperanza Botello. We're here on a status hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause. We're live streaming and Ms. Goodman is making our record. All right, Ms. Powell's present for the department. Mr. Pirtle signed an order on behalf of the mother, Myra Rando. She is not present. Mr. Barfield is present with his client, Estevan Botello. And Ms. Zavala is present on behalf of the children. All right, we'll go ahead and Ms. Swartz, if you'll unmute and raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear you'll tell us the truth today?
Yes.
All right, you can go ahead and give us an update and then we'll see if anyone has questions.
Yes, Your Honor. I will start with Esperanza. She is currently in a foster home here in Lubbock. She is doing well. She's in daycare. She's been using her words and naming her friends by their names. She is in ECI for speech therapy and SST. So far, it is going well. They're working on her being gentle with friends and sharing. She did have an ear infection. She's been doing a lot better since she's recovered from that. She likes playing with her toys, coloring, and playing with books. Overall, she's eating and sleeping well. She is thriving. There's currently a plan to move her with a relative here in Lubbock on the 16th of this month, so in 2 days. That's really all I have on Esperanza. I will move to Teresa. She is currently in a foster home in Amarillo. it has been a bumpy road for her. She is doing better now. She's had, I believe, 4 hospitalizations since being moved to that foster home. There's been several instances where she's been leaking CFE fluid. She's had a second shunt put in. There was an issue with that shunt, the port not working, so they had to take her back into surgery and fix that. And then, of course, it started leaking again. She was taken back to the hospital. And then as of recently, on the 29th of last month, they were able to take out one of the shunts, and they did what's called an ETV, or an endoscopic third ventriculotomy. I'm probably butchering that, but basically it's an alternative to a shunt that is supposed to work a lot better for her. And it just helps bypass the blockages. Since they did that, she's maintaining eye contact a lot better. They're not having any issues with her losing, like stop tracking. So she's doing a lot better. The only concern that they had was they've pulled her out of going to church and all outdoor activities for 2 weeks just because she was at high risk of infection. Other than that, she's doing really well. She's starting to gain weight, and overall is doing much better. She does have a follow-up this upcoming week to see how that procedure did go. And then for mom, she has maintained contact with St. Francis. She's doing very well and is doing everything that we're asking her to complete. She's engaged in all parent-child visits. She's doing therapy with Robert Moreno and is doing really well. She's engaged in participating. She is participating in women's group. And Dr. Wilbanks reports that she's doing very well and is engaged in that as well. She is participating in parenting classes, provided certificates of completion to us. She is working and has provided verification of income, and then has stable housing at this time. And last but not least, for the father, he does maintain contact with St. Francis. He was able to move into his own residence that has been seen and is appropriate. He is not currently working at this time. He is in therapy at this time and is doing well. He starts Fatherhood Fire Program on the 18th of this month. He will begin BIP on 5/11, and sessions with that will take place every Monday. He is drug testing for us. We did have some concerns with his first drug test, and he was going to be referred for an OSAR assessment.
And may I ask some follow-up questions, Judge?
Yeah.
Okay, and Ms. Swartz, this is only the status hearing, so I'm assuming if they've engaged, parents are engaging in services, service plans have been developed?
Yes, ma'am.
And have they been reviewed by parents?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have, Judge.
All right, I've got a question, Ms. Schwartz.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
mean, we have Esperanza here locally, and placement sounds like it's a good placement. I'm concerned, and is it what parents want to have the child placed down in Lubbock? Even I understand it's a relative, but you know, this makes things harder. So what? Mr. Barfield's shaking his head, and I mean, I just always need to ask that question.
The foster placement is also in Lubbock, Your Honor, where
Oh,
she
is
is.
it? Okay. I thought she said that Esperanza was here too.
Esperanza is in a foster home here in Lubbock. We are moving her to that kinship home. Teresa is in the kinship or the foster home in Amarillo. There are plans to move her to the kinship home as well. We're just trying to take it slow. I know mom requested us to hold off until Teresa is feeling better and that risk of infection is going down due to all those procedures.
Okay, so Esperanza, when you said here, I thought you meant in Amarillo. So she's in Lubbock now, will remain in Lubbock. Okay.
Yes.
With a relative. Then we'll look at possibly getting Teresa there when we get her stable.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. Barfield, any questions?
I apologize. I was with my little head. I was thinking the same thing you were, Judge, but I do think I don't have any questions of this witness now.
Okay. All right, then, is father having any visits?
Not at this time, just due to that positive drug test following that adversary.
Okay, that was my question. Is that we're waiting for a negative drug screen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And Judge, I do think that my client got me some information to the office. I think that he does have a job now. I think and we can get that, and we can get him to make sure that the caseworker gets that information, just FYI.
Okay. Very good. All right, Ms. Zavala, do you have any questions?
I have no questions, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, do you have a recommendation to make?
Yes, Your Honor. Esperanza is doing great at her placement, but it is my understanding that change will happen this week to the family placement. The placement that she's in says, we hope it works well. If anything does not go well, we'll happily take her back. But we anticipate the family placement will be good for both of the girls.
No.
We have, I really appreciate the communication about all of Teresa's needs, because there has been a lot going on, and I appreciate getting all of those updates. And absolutely agree, she doesn't need to go anywhere until she's stable. We're sure that everything's going well with her. But then once that happens, to be reunited with her sister. And I do recommend that all of that continue.
Is her healthcare team here in Amarillo or in Lubbock?
I believe when she has to have surgery, she has to go back to Lubbock to do that. Hopefully we're now in the space where she just needs to sit still for 2 weeks to not get an infection. I mean, they're not going anywhere from what I understand. I mean, they are not leaving the house. And then hopefully there's a window to move her back to Lubbock, and then she will be close if anything further happens.
Right. Okay. That's kind of what I was wanting to know, is if her main medical team was there in Lubbock anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, then I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I will continue the children's current placements. I find there's a continuing danger to return the children to the parents at this time. I'm going to order the service plans as an order of the court. And I'll see everybody back August 11th of 2026 on a 9 o'clock docket. That's the initial permanency review. And obviously, I don't have a problem with moving placement if we get all the pieces together there to do that. So, okay. All right. Thank you all very much. Oh, my mother is, well, we're just at the status hearing, so never mind. But sounds like parents are making good progress and good efforts. So happy about that. All right. Thank you all. Okay, then I will call cause number 90295E in the interest of the King children. We're here for a review hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom. We're live streaming, and Ms. Goodman's making our record. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Melinda Palford, the Department of St. Francis Permanency Specialist. Today is shake hands.
Meredith Graff appearing for Alex Moreno, the father. He is not present. I'm ready to proceed.
Okay, Ms. McGrath, you may need to either speak up or get closer to a microphone or something. You're a little, it's a little hard to hear you, a little muffled.
Okay, this is Meredith Graff. I'm appearing for Alex Moreno, the father. He is not present. I've made every effort to try to get TDCJ to,
Miss Graff, you're on the wrong case.
oh, I'm sorry. This is Eagle. Mr. Eagle is not present. I'm sorry. Mr. Eagle is not present, and nobody, as far as I know, no one knows where he is located. But I'm ready to proceed.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the girls.
Okay, first of all, I'm sorry to hear about mother's passing. I've also seen the suggestion of death that's been filed in the case, and so we've dismissed her from the case. All right then, Ms. Cairns, if you'll unmute and raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm you'll tell us the truth today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you may go right ahead.
We just need an update on the girls.
Yeah, just give us an update on anything you know about father and kids, and we'll see if anyone has questions.
Not been able to locate the father, and I believe they haven't, like the caseworkers before me, haven't been able to locate him as well. I mean, during the kids' entire lives. They are doing very well in their placement, and the placement would like to adopt them. And they would still allow them to have contact with like aunts and cousins, you know, further on down the line. But the girls are doing really well.
Okay. They feeling at home there?
Yes, they are. And they're so happy.
All right. Do they understand that adoption may be out there and on the table?
Avery doesn't really understand, but I mean, she doesn't, she's nonverbal. And then Arwen doesn't even understand really where her mom is. We've explained to her, we've had a therapist talk to her as well, because she sees her placement as mom.
Okay.
So she's, yeah, they're very used to everything. That's
okay. All right. Anything else to bring us up to date?
No. I see them on Friday, but I had a video call with them last week and they're doing good.
Okay. Okay, anybody have any questions for Ms. Cairns? Ms. Gruff?
I have no questions for Ms. Cairns. Thank you so much for your work in this case. All right then, Ms. Zavala.
Your Honor, I have no questions. I am very thankful for this placement. I think the girls are doing very, very well there. I'm really glad that they want to be a long-term home for them.
All right, then. Today I'll continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I'll continue their current placement. Find there would be a continuing danger to return the children to the father, and in fact, impossible since we don't know where he is. I do show him as an adjudicated father. Is that what you have, Ms. Powell?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
This was a modification. It looked like he was actually adjudicated back in 2018.
Okay. All right. I'll find obviously he is not in compliance with his service plan. I'll see y'all back for our final in this case, June 16th, 2026. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. All right. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a very sad situation.
This is in the interest of Alex, Nima, and Bali Shangwarliyamana. We're here today for an adversary hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming. And let's see, Miss Goodman is taking our record today. Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Morning, Your Honor. Counsel Gene Graff and Nadia Jeter on behalf of the department. President, ready to proceed.
Stacy Grant on behalf of Ilonia Zawadi and my clients present with interpretation, Your Honor.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the girls.
Amanda Haas, permanency specialist at St. Francis Ministries.
All right, Mr. Hakizimana.
I'm sorry, I didn't change him. The name is Sabimana Edward, who's gonna be helping to translate.
Okay, are you here to interpret for us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, Ms. Alonia is here. And that's who you'll be interpreting for?
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
All right, then, Mr. Graff, who's your first witness? And let him interpret.
That
Hang
would
on, let him interpret my question.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
I was at a child and a child.
Ekyabona kyanje, okay.
Mvugi swahili change kirundi nibishobokera.
Vuga byose naho uvuga ikirundi nta ngorane naho cyo Kiswahili nta ngorane.
Okay. Sawa. Urafise icabona kibigiye kuba.
Cyabona ciki.
Ni kuvuga uremeza ibigiye kuba ko nshobora kubisigura jewe.
Nta ngorane.
Yes, ma'am. Allow him to interpret.
All right, sir, will you raise your right hand? Do you promise to accurately translate from English to Swahili and from Swahili back to English?
Absolutely.
All right. Is there anything that Ms. Zalonia has said that I need to know, or is that just the two of you trying to get set up to go?
Kuna kitu ambacho nahitaji aweze kujua haujamwambia kabla hatujaanza maongezi.
Kitu gani?
Kuna kitu ambacho unataka kumwambia kabla hatujaanza maongezi ya leo.
Mimi nilikuwa nataka kumwambia kama atakubali nimwambie basi.
She's just here to release everything as long as you're going to be asking her questions.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Groff, who's your first witness?
Well,
if you'll interpret that for, hang on. If you'll interpret that for Mr. Hakizimana.
Anakwenda kukuuliza mtu ambaye anaweza kushuhudia hayo utakayokwenda kuyaongelea leo.
All right, Mr. Graff, go ahead.
Thank you, Honor. Ms. Jeter would be my first witness. However, based on representations by mother's attorney, it sounds like we may have an agreement.
Katika maongezi yote ambayo mmeshakwisha kufanya, kuna makubaliano ambayo mmekwisha kuyaongelea ama kuyazungumzia?
Makubaliano gani? Sielewi.
Okay, she needs to just wait till we've got questions for her.
Unasubiria mpaka watakapokwenda kukuuliza maswali sasa kabla wamemaliza kuongea maneno yao. Makubaliano maana yake nimezungumzia kile kitu ambacho wanahitaji wewe ufanye ama kile kitu ambacho unahitaji wewe ufanye kwao kwa ajili yao.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Graff.
So if I can just confirm that with Ms. Grant on the record, then we can likely dispense with the hearing, at least on the adversary portion.
I was going to let him interpret what
Yeah.
Eugene said.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Atakwenda sasa kuanza kuongea kila kitu ambacho wameandaa kuongea na wewe kwa siku ya leo.
Yeah, badugen hangora.
That's fine.
Your Honor, it's my client's agreement. Go ahead, sir.
Anakwenda sasa kuzungumzia kuhusu mambo ambayo mtakwenda kukubaliana leo.
That the children will remain removed from the home.
Kwamba wakitaka wachukue watoto kutoka nyumbani.
That she will agree to take classes and work her services.
Utakwenda kukubali kuchukua masomo watakao kuambia ili ujifunze.
In a goal of reuniting with her children.
Ili viweze kukusaidia jinsi ya kuweza kuungamana ama kuambatana na watoto.
She understands that if her husband returns to the home.
Na uelewe mume wako akirudi nyumbani.
That he will not have contact with the children through her in any way.
Hata kwenda kuwa na ruhusa ama uwezekano wa kuwa karibu na watoto ama kufanya chochote na watoto.
It is her intention to allow him to return to the home.
Itakuwa ni wajibu wako kumruhusu yeye arudi nyumbani.
And it is our understanding that the children wanted to be removed so that they could receive services as well.
Na kwao wanaelewa ni vizuri kwamba watoto waweze kuchukuliwa ili waweze kupata msaada wasipokuwa nyumbani.
My client is agreed to execute all paperwork required for this case.
Kuna karatasi ambazo zitahitimishwa ili waweze kukamilisha kila jambo.
And to attend all court hearings as required.
Na kuwezekana kuja kwenye ofisi mtakapokuwa mumeitishwa ama mumekaribishwa.
She will remain in contact with CPS and Ms. Zavala's office as required.
Mtakwenda kuendelea kuwa na mazungumzo na CPS ama wale ambao wanafuatia watoto kila wakati.
And will cooperate with St. Francis workers as necessary.
Na wataendelea kupeana habari kwa kila kitu ambacho kitakuwa kinaendelea.
She will provide any documents necessary for St. Francis to assist the children with school and health appointments.
Na utaendelea kuwajibika kutoa karatasi zote ambazo zitakuwa zinawahusu watoto watakapokuwa wanahitaji kwenda shule na kwenye ofisi tofauti.
I know, Judge, that we will be doing counseling.
Watakuwa na muda wa kutafuta jinsi ya kuwashauri ama kutoa ushauri.
Participating in parenting classes.
Kuwaitisha katika mafunzo ya wazazi ama ya walezi wa wazazi.
And other services as required following assessments with providers.
Na kazi nyingine ambazo zitakuwa zinahitajika ili kuweza kuchangia ama kujifunza pamoja na wengine.
And I would ask Ms. Zawadi if she understands what she's agreed to.
Anakwenda kukuuliza sasa kama hayo yote amezungumza kama unayaelewa vizuri. Amesema unaelewa haya yote tumeyazungumza. Umeelewa? Kuna swali ambalo unaweza kuuliza ama umeelewa chochote tumesema?
Nimeelewa, lakini kuna swali nitakaloliuliza.
Yes, she understands all that, but she would like to ask a question.
Yes, tell her please go ahead with her question.
Unaweza kuuliza sasa swali lako.
Nataka kuuliza ya kwamba nina uwezo wa kuongea na watoto wangu au nina uwezo wa kuwaona kwenye walipo?
She's asking, is she going to be able to talk to the kids or be able to see them as long as they might be removed from some places?
Yes, as part of this case, she will receive a visitation and contact plan for visiting with her children.
Ndiyo, itakuwa vizuri kwako, watakusaidia kupea karatasi itakayo kuruhusu kwenda kuwaona watoto mahali walipo na muda ama jinsi ya kuongea nao kwa wakati salama.
However, the state will have custody of the children and she will have visitation and access.
Okay, utakuwa na uwezekano wa kuwaona watoto ama kuwatembelea, na kisha muji ama nchi hii ya Texas itakuwa na orodha ama jinsi ya kwenda kukuruhusu.
Sawa, nilikuwa nataka kuuliza kingine kimoja kama hamtojali.
She's asking another questions if you not mind.
Okay. Go ahead.
Unaweza kuuliza.
Kingine ninauliza hivi.
Mm.
Mimi nilikuwa na kiswaka wa kwanza. Na huyo kiswaka wa kwanza alisema kuwa siwezi kuongea na watoto wangu. Tena alisema mimi nimeuza watoto wangu. Ndio swala limesababisha niulize. Akasema mimi nimeuza watoto wangu, nikamwambia mimi sijauza watoto wangu. Mpaka akanichonganisha na familia. Ni swala limeniumiza sana mpaka likafika niliulize. Naomba waulize mimi niliwahi kutamka jambo la kusema nimeuza watoto wangu?
Nani alikwambia hivyo?
Kiswaka wa kwanza mwenye alikuwa na hii kesi.
Okay. Well, it sounds like she has a misunderstanding with somebody who has been as a caseworker at the first time, that been talking to her around about that she been setting the keys or she didn't want the keys around her. Have you guys heard about anything or not? It looks like that was something not really good.
So she's asking if it's true that if a caseworker told her that she doesn't want her kids or doesn't want to see them, is that the question?
And she said too that the caseworker said she was able to set the keys and all her family been like mocking her, yelling on her, which has been like a tough time for her. That's why she's been asking the first question.
So she has not seen the children since removal, is that correct?
She just,
Okay.
let me ask her that.
Okay, thank you.
Wakati huo walikukataza kuonana na watoto ama kuwatembelea watoto ama kuongea na watoto?
Yes, Kiswaka aliniambia siwezi kutembelea watoto na siwezi kuwaona watoto, lakini katika karatasi niliyosaini kwake nilisaini kuwa naweza nikaongea na watoto na nikawaona. Lakini baadaye alikuja nyumbani akanaanza kunifokea, akajitukanana akawaambia familia yote kuwa nimeuza watoto. Mimi watoto wamekuwa kama yatima. Mimi ni mzazi mbaya. Ndio nikamwambia watoto wameshindwa kusoma, ndio maana nimeamua kufanya hivyo.
It's a tough time. But it sounds like they had a confusion time that the caseworker been like tough on her and been saying that she's sending the kids, she's not a good mother and she don't want to see the kids. And the caseworker told the whole family all those nonsense. But
okay, so here's the response to that question for her. Today is the beginning of a new case.
Okay.
And the children.
What shida zako ama kesi yako.
Okay, and the children have their own attorney who is Miss Zavala.
Okay.
And I'll ask Miss Zavala to waive so Miss Zawaldi knows that her children have an attorney that will protect their rights. And if you'll tell her that.
Kwa sasa mama wanasema kwamba wana mtu mwingine ambaye atakuwa na wasimamia watoto na watakuwa katika mikono salama. Hautokutana tena na matatizo kama hayo umezungumza yaliyokukuta.
Nashukuru kwa kuwa amebadilisha.
She's so grateful because you had changed the case to someone else.
Okay. And as part of the new case, Miss Zavala will ensure that all of the children's rights are honored, and we will start fresh today with creating a visitation plan so that she can visit with her children and show her mothering abilities.
Thank you so much for that. Atakwenda sasa kuchukua hii kesi, waanze upya, waweze kukuruhusu ama kukuandikia karatasi ambazo zitakuruhusu kuongea na watoto, kuwatembelea kama vile ulivyokuwa umeambiwa kabla ya kesi. Lakini kwa sasa huyu atakayekuwa na washughulikia atakupa ruhusa ama maongezi na watoto vizuri kama unavyohitaji wewe.
Oh.
And the court will make no determination today regarding her abilities as a mother. The court will only be ordering assistance and help based on what becomes determined that the children and her need.
Okay, kwa leo watakwenda sasa kushughulikia watoto, lakini hawatakuwa na maamuzi yoyote, lakini watakwenda kuweka kila kitu kitakachofuatilia ili mambo yakae sawa sawa.
Sawa.
But it's important she understands today that she will be co-parenting the children along with all the people working in the case, because the state will have legal custody.
Okay. Kwa sasa leo utakwenda kuambatana na kusaidia endapo nchi itakuwa imechukua maamuzi ya kufuatilia watoto, watakapokuhitaji watakutafuta ili uweze kuchangia chochote kile kama mzazi wa watoto.
Sawa.
And if she experiences any problems or has any questions during the case, she's to reach out to me because I represent her.
Okay, utakapokuwa na swali lolote ama ugumu wowote kuhusu kesi hii ama shughuli hii ambayo wameichukua leo, utakwenda kumtafuta yeye, ndiye atakwenda kukusaidia.
Sawa.
Kabla ya mtu mwingine.
Ya atanipa namba yake lakini sijui.
Is she gonna be to get your phone number that way she can call you or tell you whatever she might need?
Tell her that I am putting a phone number into the chat where she can send text messages translated from her own language.
Unaweza kuandika hapo kwenye hii Zoom ambayo tunaitumia ili waagize barua. Hiyo namba ya simu waweze kuipata simu yako ili watakapokuwa na kuhitaji waweze kupigia simu.
Yeah.
Okay, andika hiyo namba yako sasa wakae nayo.
So if she will go to the bottom of her device
umeona namba yake ameiweka
and click chat,
yeah,
she will see a phone number that she may text in her native language and I will translate it to my language.
Okay. Kuna namba ameiweka, ingia pale pa kuzungumzia kisha uichukue, na utakapokuwa na shida uandike kwa lugha yako, naye atakapoona barua yako kuna chumba atakachokitumia kiweze kumjulisha umemaanisha nini na unataka nini.
Sawa. Tena kingine wanaambie address watakuwa wananituma yeko, kwa sababu wamesema wakinihitaji wataniita, wanaambie wanitumie address yenye watakuwa wananihitaji na mimi nipate urahisi wa kufika huko.
Oh, she would like to know also when Yama knew how to come to the office or to the court so she can have route information.
Okay, tell her that once she texts that phone number, myself and my staff will set up a meeting with her and an interpreter.
Okay. Na anasema kwamba utakapokuwa na swali lolote ama utakapokuwa unataka kuongea nao muda wote ule, utaandika barua kwa namba ile wamekupa, na kisha nao watatafuta uamuzi wa muda ambao mtakwenda kuongelea, kisha watakujulisha ni wapi utakapoenenda ili mkutane.
Sawa.
Na wamekaa wamekutafutia mtu ambaye atakusaidia kwa lugha yako.
Sawa.
Okay.
So, Sarah, guys, if you will put your phone number to me in the chat, I will use you as my authorized interpreter.
Okay, anakwenda kutafuta.
Or I can get it from Miss Rachel.
Okay.
I'll get it from Miss Rachel. Okay.
No problem.
So does she understand and agree that this is what she wants to do?
Umeelewa kwamba hili ni jambo utakalofuatilia kulifanya na unataka wakumshughulikie ama wakufanyizie kazi hizi?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Groff, I need just real brief information regarding the father. Have we had any contact? Let him interpret.
Kuna swali lingine ambalo unaweza kuwa nalo ama kuna mtu mwingine ambao anaweza kutafuta kwa ajili yako?
Mimi wanaweza kunitafuta.
No. The question is not for her. Question is for the department.
Judge, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just tell her I'm asking someone else questions now.
yuko anakwenda kuuliza mtu mwingine swali, sio wewe. Subiri kidogo.
All right, Mr. Graff.
Thank you, Judge. I believe Ms. Jeter may have had contact with one of the fathers, but I will ask her to give an update to the court.
All right, let him interpret.
Atakwenda kujulisha mtu huyu ambao wanamtafuta ili aweze kutujulisha ni siku gani tutaweza kuwa na mazungumzo mengine tena.
Okay.
Ms. Jeter, if you'll unmute, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear you'll tell me the truth today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm running behind already, guys. I've got a terrible docket today. So, Ms. Jeter, I'm going to ask you a few real point blank questions. Have you had contact with him? If
Not
let him
direct
interpret-
contact.
Whoa, let him interpret. Have you had contact with him?
Mumeweza kuwa na mazungumzo yoyote na huyu?
Yes, kulikuwa na mazungumzo.
Not direct contact, ma'am, just through the family.
All right. Okay. Mr. Graff, has he been served?
At this point, I don't believe any of the fathers have been served, Your Honor. My understanding is they're in Africa.
Okay. Ms. Jeter, well, go ahead, Mr. Hakizama.
Amemwambia kwamba hakuna chochote ambacho kimefanyika, ni kwamba inaonekana kuna mtu alikuwa amesafiri, ndivyo nimesikia, huko nyumbani tulikotoka.
Ms. Jeter, do you have any information that he's aware of the case?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead and interpret my question. Folks, you guys have got to get on board when we have interpreters. I can't keep directing this, you know, question, answer, question, answer. All right, sir. The question is, do you have any knowledge that he knows about the case?
Unajua kesi hii ama yoyote kuhusu kesi hii?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Okay, Ms. Zavala, are you good with this arrangement?
I am, Your Honor. I do believe it's in the.
Hold on.
Sorry.
You need to interpret my question.
Sergei, after every person speaks, interpret it for my client, please. And then she does not need to reply.
Okay.
So go ahead and interpret that Ms. Zavala is on board with the agreement.
Kuna swali lolote ambalo unaweza kuuliza kuhusu haya ambao wamesema kwamba unajua barua hii kwamba imeanza kazi yake?
Hapana, sina swali.
She doesn't have a question right now, but she
Okay,
understands.
tell her that I will talk with her about questions at the end of the hearing.
Atakwenda kuwa na maswali baada ya mazungumzo haya.
Sawa.
All right, Ms.
Sorry,
Zavala?
Judge.
Your Honor, at this time, I do believe this agreement is in the girl's best interest.
All right, thank you. You can go ahead and interpret.
Anaelewa kwamba haya mazungumzo ya makubaliano ambayo yanakwenda kufanyika yatakuwa na msaada.
All right, at this time, I find the evidence is sufficient to name the department as temporary managing conservator.
Go ahead, Sergei.
Yes, sir, I need you to interpret for her.
Atakwenda kufuatilia sasa, azungumzie kila kitakachofuatilia kuhusu barua ama kesi ambayo tunaizungumzia leo.
Oh.
I find the department has used reasonable efforts to avoid the removal of the children.
Wameshaona kila kitu ambacho kinaweza kusababisha ili waweze kuchukua watoto.
But that it's necessary to protect the safety and well-being of the children.
Ili waweze kuwalinda kwa kila lolote ili wakae katika usalama wao.
Oh.
I find there would be a continuing danger to return the children home.
ni hatari kuwarudisha watoto nyumbani. Kwa hiyo utafuatilia maamuzi yao ili waweze kukaa na watoto ama kuwafuatilia jinsi ya kuwalinda wao.
I expect parents to work services.
Anahitaji wazazi ili muweze kufuatia kitakachokuwa kinawahusika kuhusu watoto.
I'll sign the order when that's presented.
Atakwenda kuagiza barua kama ilivyoandikwa,
Noting on the record that this is a wrapper case by the mother.
kuhusu wewe mama, kwamba hii ni barua kubwa ambayo inahitajika kufuatilia ama kufuatiliwa.
I'll see you back for our status hearing May 19th, 2026 on a 9 o'clock docket.
Mwezi wa 5 tarehe 19 ndipo mtakwenda kuzungumza tena saa kama hii asubuhi saa 3.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Everybody's free to go. Mr. Hakuzama, thank you.
Anashukuru kila mtu. Kwa sasa mnaruhusiwa kuondoka na asante kwa muda wenu. Thank you so much for this.
Sergis, would you please tell Ms. Zawadi to text me and I will get with her after offline.
Mwagizie barua ili aweze kuongea na wewe baada ya mazungumzo haya.
Sawa.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Have a nice day, y'all.